Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another Hot Toys Secret Base figure preview video. Now before we begin, as always, I have to say a huge thank you to Ryan Kirkwood for going out in person and snapping these glorious high-res pictures. Show Ryan some love in the comments below, cause without him, this series quite literally wouldn't be possible. If you are looking to pre-order your very own Bane, I have popped the link to toyswonderland.com in the description below. They have installment plans and a reward system. While you're down there, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon and join button so you're notified as soon as a brand new Hot Toys review or figure preview video goes live on the channel. Don't get me wrong, these days it kind of feels like another day, another 2.0. But this guy, he gets a pass from me. He was long overdue. The original Bane was too short, too skinny, and he wasn't seamless, which upset a lot of people, including me. Not to mention the head sculpt wasn't perfect, the display base was kinda boring compared to this one, and he also had a flaking pleather jacket. They have luckily addressed most, if not all of those issues with this new 2.0. He does come with a full array of hands, and the best part is for the right side with the gauntlet, the wrist pegs are completely hidden. Now, some people do opt to display him with gauntlets on both sides, and you can totally do that, he comes with two of them. So if you do want to sacrifice a little bit of screen accuracy, you can go 100% seamless from head to toe, which I am tempted to do myself. Now, one of the biggest upgrades here is the new coat, cause as you can see, it ain't pleather. This time they've gone with this kind of textured suede material, which is a great upgrade. That means no flaking, no creasing, and no damage over time. This is kind of the material that I was hoping for the first time around. Pleather was never accurate to the coat that Bane was wearing. It was always this texture in the movie. It's weathered, it's soiled, and it's dirty and grimy. Although the collar and the kind of sheepskin lining is very clean. I guess we'll just have to wait and see when the final version comes out if they decide to add a little bit more weathering. He also, though, comes with another interchangeable outfit option, and it's all new for this version. We never got this with the 1.0. They're simply calling it the brown jacket. I happen to really like this jacket, and I'm very tempted to pick up two Banes, one to display with this jacket on, and one to go all out, guns out. I'm so sorry I had to. It's weathered, and before you freak out, no, it's not pleather. You can tell by the grain, the texture of the material, that it's kind of like a coated nylon. Now, Hot Toys, they don't really like to invest in brand new molds for bodies or diorama display bases if they're only going to use it once. Using it twice though, you see, that's very clever. They've got the maximum bang for their buck, which is exactly what they've done here. This display base we technically don't have in hand yet, but this guy's not the only one to come with it. We're also getting this exact base with the new Catwoman. Plus, it does fit the scene. You've got Bane and Batman battling on the walkway. If only we got this base with the DX-19 as well. I guess you could pick up Catwoman and have Bane and Batman facing off on the diorama bases. And Catwoman can steal Batman's base. Wouldn't be the first time she stole from him, just like Martha's pearls. Once again, I am so sorry. I dig the paint applications and texture for the railing and the backdrop. It looks suitably rusty, dirty and grimy. Then we do have the water underneath, because they were battling in the sewers. Now, this is a rather tall diorama base, but for those of you out there who have detolfs, I reckon you're going to be perfectly fine. It doesn't look too tall. But please, don't quote me on that. We'll just have to wait and see when he eventually comes out. Now, with Bane himself, it's kind of multiple steps forward and one step in the same position, if that makes sense. Not backwards, just standing still. Because the boots, they're beautifully sculpted, really nicely textured. I actually thought they were fabric, I had to do a double take, but they're not a split-cut boot design, they're solid sculpted rubber. So we're not going to get pivot, we're only going to get swivel. not ideal, especially considering this guy is touted to have a ton of posability. You'd want him to be able to pull off some crazy poses and be planted at the same time. Now, his outfit does look similar to the original, but it is 2023 and probably 2024 when this guy comes out, so even if Hot Toys did want to use the same fabric and patterns as they did originally, they probably wouldn't be able to, because those fabric samples are no longer available, and the patterns, they're scaled down to a smaller body. This guy is a hell of a lot bigger than the original, so I'm fairly certain what I'm trying to say is his pants, they're all new. I dig the look of the knee pads, and this time they're in the correct position, whereas with the 1.0, they would sag down slightly too low. Then for his vest padded torso area, I love this, it looks awesome. There are a bunch of buckles and straps, and yes, I do believe it's all removable, which is a good thing, because you do want to be able to take it off and show off that seamless body. Now, will this be as fiddly as the original? Will it break as easily? All questions we'll have to answer when it eventually comes out. With the 1.0, I had a bunch of issues with mine. The straps, the buckles, they just didn't work, it sat too loose, and it kind of just came apart at the seams. This one looks to hug the body a lot better. It looks more weathered, and the colours, to me at least, look more accurate to the film. I did look at some reference before shooting this video just to make sure it's fresh in my mind, and yeah, like I said, it looks really close. Now, it's still not 100% perfect, but it's a darn sight better compared to what we had before. Up top, he does have the little red dangly bits, and like I just said, it hugs the body beautifully. Speaking of the body though, did I mention it's an all-new seamless body? And you know what? It's about darn time. Bane is an iconic character. People love him. I'm actually surprised that it took this long to get a seamless body Bane in 1/6 scale. People have been kit bashing and customizing using Fison M34, M35, but they've never quite been perfect because they're not specific to Bane. They don't have the scarring down the back of his neck, they don't have the wrinkling below his mask, and they're also just a little bit too big and bulky. Now, while this is also slightly bigger than Bane was in the movie, or I should say Tom Hardy was, I'm kind of willing to forgive that, because if they did go any skinnier, that would have been a problem in and of itself. Now, I like that the rubber cups over the wrist peg, and they have sculpted a little bit of skin texture onto the wrist peg to make it look that little bit more seamless. Now, it's not 100% so, because you can still see that wrist peg, but like I said earlier, on the right side, he's got the gauntlet, so it's completely hidden. I personally am going to display him with the vest on and not wearing the jacket, because this seamless body is too good to hide. They haven't quite said if this is going to be their new silicone style material like their Wonder Woman 84, or if they're going with something more traditional, like they did in the past with other seamless bodies, think Hellboy. I am hoping for the former, silicone, because in the promo pics he had a significant double bend at the elbows, he could hold his braces, which is a pretty impressive feat for a seamless body. Another impressive feat is capturing the likeness of Tom Hardy when pretty much most of his face is obscured. But you all can tell who that is, that's Tom Hardy as Bane through and through. I love the creepy looking vein work on the side of his head, the wrinkling for the forehead, and the intensity and fierceness of that expression. Ooh, shivers down my spine. Plus the icing on the cake, his eyes. You ready for it? Yeah, they're movable. I'm a huge fan of moving eyes because it brings so much personality to a head sculpt. You can just tilt the eyes up or down and make him look even more angry or maybe a little bit more inquisitive. Entirely up to you. You can literally customize the head sculpt to suit your personal preference, which isn't something you can say for a lot of Hot Toys released last year. So fingers crossed, going forward, we get more moving eyes on more head sculpts in the future. One really small but really awesome detail that I've noticed is his cheek is being squished and he's poking through the hole on the side of his mask. It looks slightly more bulky, like that mask is super tight being pulled up against his head sculpt. Obviously it's all sculpted as one piece, but it's the small details like that that make me so very happy. Now, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Yes, the body is awesome, I love the proportions, I love the size and bulk, and it's seamless, but that also has a drawback. Number one, there is a texture and color difference between the head sculpt and the body. Now, Hot Toys have time to dial that in and get that to be a lot closer, but it's a different material to a sculpted hard plastic head sculpt. Whereas with a proper hard plastic body, it would have been identical. Also, the other drawback is Seamless is known for one thing. It's a poser's nightmare, because when you get to posing and you have him with the arms bent holding the braces, yeah, it's potentially going to crack and get damaged over time. Fingers crossed it doesn't, but once again, like I've said many times in this figure preview video, only time will tell. We'll have to see when we get the final version in hand. If it does get damaged though, you got two jackets to choose from. Pop the jackets on and hide those seamless arms. Ooh, people are gonna get so mad at me for saying that. I will readily admit it is a cop-out answer. In an ideal world, it wouldn't ever crack or damage. But Hot Toys operate on the planet Earth, and they are bound by the laws of physics and material science. So until someone invents a silicone that can bend and stay bent without cracking, Hot Toys can't really do much about it. They can try and experiment like they have, but there is no perfect solution for seamless and for maximum posability, at least not yet. So hopefully I've answered that question. If you are heading down to the description and you want to pre-order your very own Bane, I have popped the link for toyswonderland.com. Now while you're down there, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button if you like the sound of seeing your name in the end credits of my reviews. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll catch you in the next video.